Oh. See, you're gonna be just like old small bougie brat and leave. Well, then leave, all right? Get the stepping, Gina.
Good. Martin, I'd rather be spoiled than be an ignorant, no-class-having, big-eared jackass.
Remember when a single sitcom could give us catchphrases, legendary roast battles, and a whole new definition of friendship goals, all from a one-bedroom apartment in Detroit? Yeah, that was Martin. From 1992 to 1997, Fox's Thursday nights belonged to Martin Lawrence and his crew. Martin Payne was a fast-talking radio DJ whose life was equal parts ambition and catastrophe. His girlfriend Gina, played by Tisha Campbell, could hold her own in any argument. Tichina Arnold, as her best friend Pam, never missed a chance to roast Martin. Karl Anthony Payne II, as Cole, was the lovable goofball whose brain moved at its own special speed, and Tommy? He was played by Thomas Mikal Ford, the well-dressed mystery man whose job nobody could ever figure out. For 5 seasons, they argued, laughed, and somehow became one of the most iconic casts in sitcom history. Today, we're counting down 15 weird and wild facts about Martin. From behind-the-scenes drama to how one man played a dozen characters each week and somehow didn't lose his mind. Now, before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and trust us, you'll want to stick around to the end. Now, let's go. Oh, and a huge shout out to Ben Cromwell, who suggested this one in the comments. Thanks for the idea, Ben. This one's for you. Number 15, the show was created from Martin's stand-up. Martin wasn't dreamed up in a network boardroom by executives trying to capture urban demographics, though they definitely used that phrase in meetings. It came straight from the source. Producer and writer John Bowman, who'd worked on In Living Color, caught Martin Lawrence's stand-up act and thought, this needs to be on TV every week. Execs asked the usual broad appeal question, and Bowman said the funny is the appeal. Lawrence's high-energy routines about relationships, life, and everything in between became the blueprint. Bowman helped shape those stand-up bits into a sitcom structure, but the voice? Pure, unfiltered Martin Lawrence.
No, I'm just saying, don't be nervous now. That's cool. We family. Hi, look at, damn, why you got your eyes all, you all right?
The character impressions that he'd been doing on stage for years, like the sassy neighbor, the smooth-talking player, and the overbearing mother, became Sheneneh, Jerome, and Momma Payne. The jokes about relationships, apartments too small for all the people in them, and friends who treated your fridge like a free buffet, those became 132 episodes. When the writing worked, it worked because it sounded like Martin. When Martin improvised, it worked because the show was already built around his rhythm. There was no disconnect, no translation needed. Just straight from the comedy club stage to your TV screen.
You know what? You amaze me, Pam. Do you have a man?
You know I don't.
And I see why, okay? Listen, let me tell you something. Me and Gina's thing ain't material.
Fox didn't create Martin, they just gave Martin Lawrence a studio, a camera, and 22 minutes every Thursday night to prove Bowman right. Number 14, Martin's catchphrases became pop culture currency. Every decade has its slang. The 70s had Far Out, the 80s had Gag Me With a Spoon, but the 90s? Well, the 90s belonged to Martin. You Go Boy flipped the familiar cheer into something sharper, funnier, and so iconic that Lawrence named his own production company after it. You Go Boy Productions. He literally branded himself with his own catchphrase. That's commitment. What's up? Martin's shout that later exploded into a whole ad era.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Martin was yelling it at the radio station while the culture was still catching up. You know you remember those commercials. Then there was Damn Gina.
Damn!
Martin's exasperated reaction to his girlfriend that somehow became the universal phrase for when someone you love is simultaneously frustrating and appealing. Even Sheneneh Jenkins had her own contributions, like the unforgettable "Oh no you didn't," complete with the neck roll and finger wag that became the ultimate way to shut someone down with nothing but attitude. Decades later, people still yell "You Go Boy" at their friends, drop "What's up" in text messages, and give the Sheneneh neck roll when someone crosses a line.
What do you want, Sheneneh?
Oh my goodness. If it isn't Little Miss Attitude.
Martin didn't just create catchphrases, he created a whole vocabulary that outlived the show by decades. Number 13, Thomas Mikal Ford appeared in every single episode. While Martin Lawrence was the undeniable star, the face on every poster and promo was Thomas Mikal Ford, and he's the only cast member to physically appear in every single one of the show's 132 episodes. Every single one.
What about the back of your neck?
What about it?
Look like a pack of hot dogs.
Even when Martin was off screen playing Sheneneh or Jerome, Tommy was there. When Tisha Campbell had conflicts and her scenes got limited, Tommy was there. When Karl Anthony Payne disappeared for stretches during season 5's behind-the-scenes chaos, Tommy was there. When the set was falling apart from lawsuits, enough off-camera static to power a whole spinoff, Tommy showed up and did his job, which is ironic considering nobody ever figured out what his actual job was. Speaking of his job, Ford's character, Tommy Strawn, became legendary for one specific reason: his mysteriously non-existent employment. The running joke started when Ford asked the writers for more backstory. You know, standard actor stuff like, what does my character do for a living? And instead of giving him one, they decided to troll him for 5 seasons. You ain't got no job, man.
Tommy,
What?
everybody in the audience knows damn well you ain't got no job, man.
Became an all-time classic sitcom line and a question that was never ever answered. Was Tommy independently wealthy? Was he a trust fund kid? Did he run a successful underground business? Well, the show never told us, and that ambiguity became funnier than any actual answer could have been. When Ford passed away in 2016 from an aneurysm at just 52 years old, the tributes poured in from castmates, colleagues, and millions of fans. Appearing in every single episode of a sitcom is actually insane. Most shows can't even keep their lead in every episode, but Tommy, perfect attendance.
Maybe I can get you a job where I work, you know, doing what I do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, let me ask you something. Just what the hell do you do, Tommy?
5 seasons, 132 episodes, and 0 absences. For a character who was infamous for not having a job, the actor definitely took his job seriously. Rest in peace, Tommy Ford. Thanks for showing up and entertaining us for so many years. Number 12, the cast had 2 major reunions and made Emmy history. Even decades after Martin went off the air, the cast kept finding reasons to get back together. Some reunions were sweet, others were long overdue payback. In 2022, BET Plus brought the whole gang back together for Martin the Reunion.
This one's for you, Tommy.
What's up? You so crazy.
For the first time in 30 years.
A 90-minute special where the cast sat in a replica of Martin's apartment, shared stories, and paid tribute to Thomas Mikal Ford. The special gave fans the closure the show's chaotic final season never did, but that wasn't the end of it.
There'd be a Martin reboot. I mean, the people want to know.
Fast forward to January of 2024, and the main cast reunited again, this time on stage at the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards. The set? Another recreation of Martin's apartment, complete with the iconic couch and that painting nobody remembers but everyone recognizes. The cast opened with jokes about the show never being nominated for an Emmy during its run despite massive ratings, undeniable cultural appeal, and 132 episodes of pure comedy gold.
Karl, we're not winning an Emmy tonight. Please, sit your butt down.
Please.
Sit down.
What you mean? Karl, we're presenting an award, not being presented with one, knucklehead.
Tisha Campbell summed it up perfectly. We should have had a couple of Emmys during our run, but we were never even nominated. After the laughs and the pointed commentary, the cast presented the award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, a category Martin Lawrence should have been nominated for multiple times. 30 years later, they finally got invited to the Emmys, not to win, not even to be nominated, just to hand someone else a trophy. At least the couch looked good. Number 11, from hip-hop legends to Hollywood icons, everyone showed up. Martin was a VIP lounge where hip-hop royalty, Hollywood icons, and R&B legends showed up to get roasted on national television, and they loved every minute of it. The show pulled in some of the biggest names in music and entertainment, often letting them act instead of just perform. The notorious B.I.G. guest starred as himself, stopping by Martin's radio station.
So what brings you to town, man?
I'm looking for a background singer to go on the road with me.
That ain't gonna be no problem here.
Naturally, everyone tried to audition, including people who definitely shouldn't have. Method Man showed up in 1997 as a burglar who robbed Martin's apartment, while Martin thought it was just an elaborate prank.
Oh, snap. Pam sent you, right?
Watching Martin try to figure out if he was being robbed or pranked was pure comedic confusion.
Be careful with that out there.
Hey, yo, I want to thank you, man. This is the first time anybody ever helped me, Jackham.
Tone Loc played a nightclub owner. Kid and Play turned up at a house party because, of course they did. R&B stars like Jodeci and Brian McKnight added serious vocal firepower to episodes that blurred the line between sitcom and concert special.
Oh yeah.
And the guest list? Well, picture this. You had comedy royalty like Marla Gibbs and the late Sherman Hemsley popping in for different episodes. Snoop Dogg showing up in another episode getting music industry advice from Jerome. Billy D. Williams sharing screen time with Gary Coleman.
Look, man, I waited a long time
Yeah.
to come here and thank you.
And even Chris Rock as Sheneneh's date. The casting director clearly had the best Rolodex in Hollywood and zero interest in playing it safe. Every guest became part of Martin's universe. They got roasted, they roasted back, they felt like real people dropping by a friend's apartment, not celebrities making awkward cameos for publicity reasons. Number 10, Martin Lawrence built a movie career while filming a sitcom full-time. Most sitcom stars wait until their show ends to chase the big screen, but Martin Lawrence said why wait and did both at the same time. Between 1994 and 1997, while filming Martin every week, Lawrence released 3 major films and a stand-up concert movie, proving he could dominate television and movie theaters simultaneously.
No. I got the breed, baby.
First came You So Crazy in 1994, his stand-up concert film that earned an NC-17 rating for being too raw for the MPAA to handle. Apparently, Network Martin and Unfiltered Martin were two very different people. Then, in 1995, Bad Boys paired him with Will Smith in an action buddy cop film that grossed over $140 million worldwide and launched a franchise that's still running 3 decades later. Not bad for a TV star's first major action role.
Well, you know the barrels of ether that blew up on the ice cream truck? They were going to use that to process the heroin.
A year later, he starred in, directed, and co-wrote A Thin Line Between Love and Hate in 1996, proving he wasn't just an actor, but a creative force who could build projects from scratch.
Oh, I think she's expecting me.
Oh, okay. Damn, you the chicken delivery boy, huh? You're a well-dressed one.
And in 1997, as Martin's final season aired, Nothing to Lose hit theaters with Lawrence playing opposite Tim Robbins. That's 4 major releases in 3 years while shooting 22 episodes of television per season and playing multiple characters per episode. Most actors pick one, sitcom star or movie star. Martin Lawrence decided to be both, simultaneously. By the time Martin ended in 1997, Lawrence wasn't just a TV star looking for movie work, he was already a proven box office draw with a film franchise under his belt. Number 9, Martin hired his childhood friends with 0 acting experience. If Martin felt like it had real friendship chemistry, there's a simple reason for that. Martin literally hired his childhood friends to be on the show. No acting classes, no auditions, just Martin Lawrence picking up the phone and asking, "Hey, you want to be on TV?"
Hey, Martin, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Nipsey?
Yeah, I saw you on the TV tonight, man.
Yeah.
You was the man.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, but look, man.
Hollywood casting directors everywhere just felt a disturbance in the force. Sean Lampkin, a close friend from back in the day, played Nipsey, the friendly bar owner whose spot became the crew's unofficial hangout. After the show ended, he kept that role going in real life, working as Lawrence's assistant on films like Life, Big Mama's House, and Bad Boys 2. Well, then there was Kenneth Wack, who played Kenji, Dragonfly Jones's punching bag of an assistant.
I am Dragonfly Jones, and this is my obedient servant, KJ!
Kenji got kicked, flipped, or thrown into something while Dragonfly yelled about martial arts wisdom he clearly didn't possess. The physical comedy worked because these two had been making fun of each other since childhood. And here's the thing about chemistry. Casting directors spend months, sometimes years, searching for it. Martin just scrolled through his contact list, said, "Hey, can you take a hit for a joke? Cool, you're hired." Number 8, Tracy Morgan got his first big break as Hustle Man. Before SNL, Tracy Morgan was hustling, literally. His recurring character, Hustle Man, debuted in season 3 and instantly became a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Say, brother, I got your pizza here.
You got my pizza? I ain't ordered no damn pizza.
Oh, hey, hold up. Now, it's still hot.
The setup was simple. A street entrepreneur selling products that shouldn't exist and somehow making people want them anyway. His catchphrase, "What's happening, Chief?" became as iconic as any of Martin's lines.
What's happening, Chief?
Morgan appeared in 7 episodes between 1994 and 1996, each time bringing unpredictable energy that made even Martin Lawrence break character.
All right, here we go. Pick up the pieces! Just pick up the pieces!
You could see it in his eyes. Martin knew Tracy was about to go completely off script, and all he could do was hang on for the ride. Good luck to whoever had to edit those takes. That exposure launched Morgan straight into SNL the following year. His SNL characters like Brian Fellow interviewing confused animals.
Brian Fellow is not an accredited zoologist, nor does he hold an advanced degree in any of the environmental sciences.
Astronaut Jones floating through space, they all had that same unhinged energy that Hustle Man pioneered. Nearly 30 years later, fans still quote him. 7 episodes, a shopping cart, some highly questionable meat products. That's all it took to launch one of comedy's most distinctive careers. Now, hit that like button and subscribe. We've got weird facts and forgotten TV moments coming every week, and you don't want to miss them. Now, let's get back to the countdown with number 7. Karl Anthony Payne II had issues with Martin Lawrence too. Season 5 was rough, to put it lightly. The behind-the-scenes drama was legendary, with lawsuits, tensions, disappearing cast members. And while Tisha Campbell's conflict with Martin Lawrence got the most attention, she wasn't the only one having problems with the star. Karl Anthony Payne II, who played the lovable, dim-witted Cole, also had serious tension with Martin Lawrence.
Cole, how would you know, man? You live at home with your mother.
Hey, I got my own room.
Their behind-the-scenes beef caused noticeable absences throughout Season 5, leaving fans wondering where Cole had disappeared to and why entire episodes barely featured him. Spoiler, the writers didn't bother explaining it. Sometimes he'd show up for one scene and sometimes not at all. In later interviews, Payne kept it vague, saying only that the animosity was one-sided. People grow, he explained years later with the kind of diplomacy that says everything without saying anything. I always wished Martin the best. Things were rough, but he took the high road. The two eventually reconciled. Turns out time and distance have a way of softening old grudges. Not every cast survives internal drama. Some shows implode, cancel, and never speak again, but Martin's crew found a way back, even if it took 25 years and a streaming special to get there. Number 6. Fox tried to expand the Martin universe and failed spectacularly. You know a show's hot when the network tries to clone it. During Martin's chaotic final season, Fox tested a backdoor pilot called Going for Mine, starring Tichina Arnold's character Pam.
I can't wait to get home to you. I got so much work to do.
The premise was simple. After losing her PR job with Gina, Pam gets a shot at being an A&R executive at Keep It Real Records. The episode aired in May of 1997, and the spinoff was dead on arrival. Behind-the-scenes lawsuits, cast tensions, and the show's implosion killed any momentum before Fox could even print the promotional posters. Hard to sell a spinoff when the parent show is barely holding itself together with duct tape and prayer.
I can have the club for my showcase? No, that's great. No, I'll bring my deposit down there right away. Thank you.
By season 5, Martin was bleeding cast members and dealing with more behind-the-scenes fireworks than a July 4th rerun. Fox executives took one look at that mess and wisely decided not to double down on disaster. The Going for Mine pilot became a footnote, a failed expansion attempt that proved when the mothership is actively sinking, a spin-off might not be the best option. Number 5. Take 6 upgraded the theme song and changed the whole vibe. Composer Steve Kite created Martin's original theme song as a pure party starter. Early 90s hip-hop energy with Martin's catchphrases looped throughout. Loud, unapologetic, and designed to get you hyped every Thursday night. Then seasons 4 and 5 rolled around and Fox decided the show had outgrown its intro.
What's up? What's up?
Enter vocal group Take 6 with more Grammy nominations than most artists have albums. They completely reimagined the theme, keeping that untouchable funky bass line but replacing the high-energy hip-hop vocals with rich, layered harmonies that felt both gospel and R&B at once. The vibe shift was immediate. The original theme said, "We're here to party." The Take 6 version said, "We've arrived and we're not going anywhere." It's the same show, same apartment, and completely different energy. It was Martin growing up in real time with more polished, more confident, and more mature material. The new theme matched where the show had landed. Not a scrappy Fox upstart anymore, but a ratings juggernaut that owned Thursday nights. Number 4, Martin featured epic musical performances. Some sitcoms brought in guest stars for cameos. Martin brought in full concerts. In the season 1 episode A Woman with a Past, R&B singer Keith Washington appeared as Gina's ex-boyfriend and performed The Closer I Get to You with her.
Oh, baby, the more you make me see.
Driving Martin's jealousy into overdrive. The song was romantic, Martin's reaction was priceless. Then there was the Christmas episode, Go Tell It on the Martin, featuring gospel duo BB and CeCe Winans performing live on Martin's talk show during a hostage situation.
The first nowhere, the angels did say.
Because of course a sitcom Christmas special involves a hostage situation, this is Martin. Straightforward holiday cheer was never the goal. And in the 2-part Valentine special, Love Is in Your Face, Brian McKnight serenaded Gina during Martin's big proposal with Never Felt This Way.
'Cause I never felt this way about loving you.
If you weren't tearing up watching that scene, you might want to examine why you hate love, or maybe you just had issues with Martin's proposal timing, which is fair. McKnight for the proposal was just the warm-up. Enter Babyface, one of the biggest R&B producers and singers of the 90s, who performed as Gina walked down the aisle at their Jamaican wedding.
You are so beautiful, darling.
The actual Babyface, in person. Most sitcoms give you a basic ceremony and a cake, but Martin gave you a destination wedding with one of R&B's biggest stars. Other sitcoms stuck to their lane, but Martin said what lane and turned Thursday nights into a variety show nobody knew they needed. Some episodes had plots, some episodes had concerts. The best ones had both, usually at the same time. Logic be damned. Number 3, Fox's Black Thursday night dominance began with Martin. Before Martin, Thursday nights belonged to NBC. Must-see TV, Friends, Seinfeld, Frasier. The comedy lineup that basically printed money and Emmy nominations like it was their job. Fox looked at that lineup and said, cool, we'll take Thursday nights too. By 1994, Fox had assembled a powerhouse lineup. Martin at 8 p.m., Living Single at 8:30, and New York Undercover at 9. 3 shows, 1 night, all centered on black characters living authentic, complicated, real lives. This trio dominated Black American viewership. According to a 1995 survey, all 3 ranked as the top shows among black audiences. Not top 10, they were the top 3, period. And here's the kicker. They didn't have the same crossover ratings with white viewers, and that underscored a different audience strategy, and that was exactly the point. Fox had figured out something the other networks had been ignoring for decades.
No! It's never too late for love. Now I got to go change. Thanks, Pam.
Black households craving characters who actually talked like them, lived in cities that looked familiar, and dealt with situations that didn't feel like they'd been focus grouped by executives who thought urban was a genre. Martin proved that shows centered on black experiences could anchor an entire network, and in turn, it opened the door for the Wayans brothers, Moesha, The Jamie Foxx Show, and so many others. NBC had must-see TV. Fox had actually see yourself TV. Turns out that mattered just as much. Number 2, this wasn't a rookie cast, they had experience and history. When Martin hit Fox in 1992, it looked like a fresh new sitcom discovering talented unknowns, except that's not what happened at all. This cast had already been putting in work for years, and some of them had been working together since they were kids and in previous projects. Tisha Campbell, who played Gina, and Tichina Arnold, who played Pam, weren't just playing best friends, they'd actually been best friends since childhood.
I know you horny and everything, but Gina's my best friend.
They met in New York auditioning for musicals when they were barely teenagers, bonding over callbacks and rejection letters. Basically, the origin story for every showbiz friendship that lasts.
Look, Gina, why? Shut up. Shut up. If open your big mouth to Martin, I swear I'm gonna kill you.
By the time Martin came calling, they'd already shared the screen in the 1986 cult classic Little Shop of Horrors. You know, the one with the man-eating plant and Rick Moranis. Peak 80s weirdness.
I beg your pardon?
Feed me!
Chewie, you talked!
Arnold kept steady work in films, sitcoms, and soap opera gigs for the next couple of years. Campbell went on to appear in Spike Lee's School Days in 1988, starred in House Party in 1990, and landed a role in Boomerang in 1992, alongside Martin Lawrence himself. Karl Anthony Payne II, who was Cole, was fresh off The Cosby Show, where he played Cockroach, Theo's mischievous best friend who showed up to cause trouble and eat all the food. Classic sitcom side character training. Thomas Mikal Ford, who played Tommy, had been building a name in theater and television since the mid-80s, racking up credits but never quite breaking through. Martin gave him what every working actor dreams of: a steady gig, a memorable character, and a catchphrase people still quote 3 decades later.
I thought we were boys, man. Why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't want you clowning me, man. I didn't tell anybody. Hey, I didn't even tell the people on my job. Oh, damn.
Tommy, don't go to the job.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Lying, man, about having a damn job, Tommy.
When Martin premiered, Fox marketed it like they'd discovered fresh talent. They hadn't. They'd just finally given working actors a show good enough to match their experience. Number 1, Martin played over a dozen characters, and his makeup artist definitely deserved a raise. Eddie Murphy may have pioneered the multiple character movie with The Nutty Professor and Coming to America, but Martin Lawrence turned character work into a weekly sitcom phenomenon and probably drove Fox's costume department to heavy drinking. Across 5 seasons, he created an entire universe of alter egos, each one more ridiculous and memorable than the last. There was Sheneneh Jenkins, the fast-talking neighbor who could start an argument over literally anything and usually did, weekly.
Chill. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm... Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Okay? Cole, you don't knock on people's door like that. That is disrespectful.
Then Jerome rolled in, the old-school playa from the Himalayas with gold teeth, a questionable walk, and a wardrobe made entirely of animal print. PETA was not consulted. Edna Momma Payne showed up as Martin's mustachioed, judgmental mother who approved of nothing, especially Gina. Dragonfly Jones claimed to be a martial arts master but never won a single fight. Little Roscoe brought mischievous kid energy with a perpetually runny nose.
Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.
Someone really should have checked on that kid's parents, and Bob, Gina's clueless white coworker, bounced around the office with surfer energy and zero understanding of personal space. And that's not even the full roster. There was Otis, the building security guard who couldn't secure a paper bag, Elroy, Pam's deadbeat ex, and more. Lawrence basically populated half the show's recurring cast himself. Fox executives must have loved it. Why hire guest stars when Martin can just play everyone? Think of the savings! These characters became cultural staples. So much so that some episodes didn't even feature the real Martin Payne. Imagine starring in a sitcom and getting upstaged by yourself weekly. The logistics were insane. Lawrence would shoot scenes as Martin, sprint to the dressing room, get transformed by the hair and makeup team in minutes, then return as Sheneneh or Jerome.
I know you ain't gonna let no man shush you. You gotta talk, you gotta speak up. Don't let people shush you, cuz.
Memorize lines for 6 different characters, nail 6 different voices, survive daily makeup transformations, and somehow make it all look effortless every single week for 5 seasons. No other sitcom star could have pulled this off, and honestly, no other sitcom star probably wanted to. But Martin Lawrence did it anyway and created a dozen characters that are still more memorable than most shows' entire casts. And there you have it, 15 weird, wild, and totally true facts about Martin. Which of these facts surprised you the most? What's your favorite Martin moment? Drop it in the comments section below. We read them and we promise not to tell you to get to steppin'. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more nostalgic deep dives into the shows that raised us, roasted us, and still make us laugh decades later. Until next time, this is Remember When.